I never imagined there would come a day when my husband I gave up everything for would slap me for another woman. And as the sting of his slap burns on my cheek, I feel something inside of me snap. That was the last of my love for him, gone in an instant. From this moment on, my ex-husband can roll out of my life.
The story will now slowly unfold from here.
I never imagined there would come a day when my husband I gave up everything for would slap me for another woman. And as the sting of his slap burns on my cheek, I feel something inside of me snap. That was the last of my love for him, gone in an instant. From this moment on, my ex-husband can roll out of my life.
It's my birthday today. I don't want any gifts. Just a simple meal together as a family would mean the world to me.
Defense, what the heck?
That right there is my husband Jackson. We've been married for 10 years and we have an adorable son together, Zane.
And the crowd is going absolutely wild.
Wait, where are you going? I'm almost done with the dinner I made.
Something urgent came up at work. I gotta go.
Wait, but Jackson, it's my birthday. Tanya. Hi. Yeah, I was just wondering when you're planning on bringing Zane home. And there's no rush to leave either. You guys could stay. I made some really great casserole.
We're not coming back tonight. Zane's having a sleepover at my place.
But it's my birthday. It's late. Where are you? It's good.
What is it?
It's getting late. When are you coming home?
Work's busy. I'm gonna be late. Don't wait up.
Well, if you want, you don't have to keep this a secret anymore. I'd make a pretty good wife.
Come on. We like what this is, don't we? We're best business partners and friends. Benefits.
Yeah, you're right. Happy birthday to me, I guess. My husband and his secretary, Donna. I saw you with Donna. It was all over the internet. I know we've grown distant, but I never thought that you would cheat.
It's just business, Trina. We had to entertain clients at the concert. That video is obviously AI. If you trusted me, you wouldn't believe that garbage.
Jackson, you humiliated me. That was all over the internet.
I don't have time for this. I need to get ready for work.
Is this for me? Maybe he does remember.
Where are my clean shirts? Why did you cut the cake?
I thought it was for me.
For you? That's for Donna. Her birthday is tomorrow.
But yesterday was mine. Before Donna came into our lives, I felt seen. Birthdays meant something.
Somewhere along the way, she took my place.
Sorry. I've just been so slammed at work. I forgot your birthday. But you could have at least asked me. Now I have to buy her a new one. Whatever. You can have that one.
So you can remember Donna's birthday, but not mine.
Can you stop talking about Donna? How many times do I have to tell you? It's just business. She closed a $1 billion deal for me yesterday. That cake was just a tiny appreciation for everything she's done for me and for this family.
What about what I have done for this family? This house runs because of me.
All you do is ask for money and things like this cake.
But Jackson, I became a housewife for you.
Trina, after today's launch, I'll officially hand the company over to you. But that doesn't mean I approve of your relationship with Jackson.
Dad, Jackson loves me. Just please trust my judgment on people like you trust my judgment on stocks. Besides, he doesn't even know who I really am.
You here for me? This must be a sign. I had planned a surprise. But since you found me, will you marry me?
Trina, don't be foolish. The first thing you need to do is take over.
Yes. All I do is ask for things. The only thing that I want is for you to keep your promise that you made when we got engaged. To take me to Finland and see the Northern Lights.
Finland? Northern Lights? Do you have any idea how busy I am?
When was the last time we took a vacation together as a family? Because I'm here, I'm doing the dishes, and I'm doing the laundry, and I'm raising our son, and you treat me like the help and not your wife.
Do you even hear yourself? This is why I don't even want to come home anymore. All you do is complain. No wonder Donna says you're a desperate housewife.
Okay. Just take it to her. Forget I asked you for anything.
What am I supposed to do with a used cake? I can't give that to someone who's important. Try contributing for once. Start by making a new cake.
You're so ugly. You're so dumb. Look at you.
Sweetie, I didn't know Grandma brought you home.
Okay, can you stop with the camera, please? Okay, and take your shoes off saying they're dirty.
I'm busy taking pictures. You took off your shoes for me. Grandma says you're the maid, and you have to do everything for me anyway.
Okay, I'm not the maid, I am your mother, so shoes off now.
Maid, Mommy is the maid. Mommy is the maid.
Zane, that is enough. Just stop with the camera, please.
Stop.
Why are you screaming at my grandson?
He came in here with dirty shoes and I already have a huge mess. And
This kitchen was a wreck before we even got in here. You are a terrible housekeeper. How can you blame your failure on a child?
well, I'm not blaming him. He's my son and I'm trying to teach him some manners.
How dare you raise your voice at me? You're just a glorified maid living under my son's roof for free.
You're mean and ugly and dumb. Aunt Donna's better. She gives me candy and she's pretty. I want her. I hate you. I hate you.
Even your own son prefers Donna. Maybe you should take some time and reflect on what kind of a mother you really are. Zane, honey, let Grandma make you a bath, okay? Oh, and I need some things from the supermarket. I sent you a list. Go fetch them for me. Now. Come on, honey.
If even my own son, my flesh and blood, prefers Donna over me, what is the point of staying in this cage?
this marriage. I think I made a terrible mistake.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Trina, there you are. You look worn out.
What are you waiting for? Bring the cake. Why do you have to ruin everything? Every single time!
Honestly, you are so clumsy. Look at Donna. She's poised and confident while you're trying to make a fool of her. You are careless, Trina.
Apologize to Donna right now.
Oh no. She just slipped, probably. It's just, this is a limited edition dress and you just bought it for me and I just wore it for the first time. It's now just ruined.
You bought her that dress? What kind of a husband buys another woman an expensive, beautiful dress?
There you go again. Making something out of nothing. I am so sick of it. Let's go eat outside instead.
Wait, Jackson, no! Jackson, I'm not making something out of nothing. Please, I am your wife and you're choosing Donna over me. Please, she pushed me on purpose.
I didn't mean to do that. But you shouldn't have accused Donna.
Oh, it's okay, Jackson. Really, let's not ruin the mood. I mean, we're celebrating my birthday and the big win.
Wait, just please don't take my son. You can do whatever you want, just don't drag my son into your love affair. Come on, Zane. Yeah, Zane!
I want Aunt Dawn to be my new mom. I want you.
Enough! He's my son too. I can take him wherever I want.
So in the end, my son and my husband, they all chose Donna. In my own home, I am the outsider.
Dad?
Hi, sweetie.
Book the flight. I'm coming home.
Day after day, I poured everything I had into this family.
Something urgent came up at work. Gotta go.
I waited. I stayed. I kept believing things would get better, and what did I get in return? A birthday no one cared about. A husband who betrayed me for the whole world to see. A son who acts like he wants nothing to do with me.
I want Aunt Dawn to be my new mom. I want you.
I'm done living for people who don't see me. From today on, my life is mine again.
What now?
I just have some insurance papers for Zane that I need you to sign.
Where do I sign? You don't have to bother me with this trivial stuff, you know. You're Zane's mother. You can sign it yourself.
You're right. I won't bother you with this stuff anymore.
You finally have what you want, Jackson. You're finally free. This family used to mean everything to me. Deserves a proper goodbye. One last dinner together. Then, it's time to let go of the last 10 years.
Oh, honey. Cooking dinner again? You look exhausted. You look like crap.
You finally showed your true colors, Donna. I always knew you were a snake.
It's not my fault that you're dumb.
So you admit it? You betrayed me. You know, I always used to think of you as a friend. I invite you into my home. I take care of you when you're sick. I trusted you.
Yes, you idiot. Let me be clear. I'm going to take everything from you. Your husband, your son, your whole family, and your place in this house.
As long as I haven't divorced Jackson, you will always just be the mistress hiding in the shadows.
So what? The whole world has already seen our kiss cam. Jackson's company is about to go public and he can't have any scandal right now. He'll divorce you and marry me. One last thing. That kiss cam was my plan too.
What are you?
Trina! Please don't be mad. Let me explain.
What's going on here?
Are you crazy?
Jackson, I was so scared. Forget about Finland, okay? I told Trina about our trip and she just snapped and tried to kill me.
No, I didn't.
Trina, how could you be so evil?
If I told you this was Donna's plan and she cut herself, would you even believe me?
The Trina I knew would never do something like this. You've become somebody I don't even recognize.
Hi, Mabel. I've changed. Jackson, you choose Donna over me again and again and again. Do you even remember that I am your wife? Of course not. Because you are a liar and a cheat.
You went too far this time.
I just wanted one last meal with my family. But I guess there's no need for that anymore.
See what happens when you push me.
This is the last time you will ever raise a hand towards me.
"10 years of love and damage. 10 years of trying to hold this family together. But the second he raised his hand at me, it all turned to ash. Once you cross that line, there is no going back."
Trina, we're finally married. I promise, I will love you forever.
He promised me forever. But I guess forever doesn't last once a man's heart starts to wander.
You've made me the happiest man. Look at our beautiful family. You, Trina, and Zane are the most important thing in the world to me.
Now those perfect vows he gave me feel like the biggest lie of all.
Just 2 more days. You could survive anything for 2 days. And then you get to leave this family forever. All the gifts Jackson got me. So you can buy another woman expensive, pretty dresses, but your wife gets the stingiest gifts. Leave this place.
Are you burning something out there?
Just some trash.
Don't be mad, okay? Me and my temper, right? I shouldn't have hit you.
Trina, you really shouldn't have provoked Jackson. You should be grateful for everything that he does for you, for this family.
Well, if that's all, I won't disturb you two any longer.
Hey, you did remember to finish packing for us all, right? And you packed Donna's favorite scarf?
Well, don't worry. I made sure you didn't forget anything. I was even gonna make you a special going away cake.
We don't have time to eat your stupid cake. We have to go to the airport.
It's too bad.
See you later.
Trina, don't be mad. I will get you something back from Finland, okay? Maybe one of those little chocolates you really like.
Donna, don't waste your money buying her chocolates. That's the last thing Trina needs. Besides, if she wants chocolate, she can buy it herself. Not that she can afford it.
Bye-bye, maid. Bye-bye. No, I want oat milk.
This oat milk. Drink it now.
Have patience with the child. He's only ever had the oat milk that his sorry excuse for a mother makes.
Try it. Here. Jackson, the call go through yet? What? Oat milk.
She's not answering.
Grandma Emma, I wanted to tell you that I'm leaving.
Oh, Trina. All these years he treated you so horribly. I don't blame you for wanting to go. I just want you to be happy.
I sure will be sad to see you go, Trina, but don't worry about Emma. I'll make sure to take good care of her.
You two are the only ones in the family that ever treated me like I mattered. Please take care of yourselves.
Right. Our suitcases only have summer clothes. Summer clothes for Finland in October. One of the coldest places in the world.
Jackson, I'm done being treated like a servant instead of your spouse. We're getting a divorce.
Now you're caught in my game.
Divorce me. That is not happening, Trina. You hear me? I won't.
Happy divorce, Trina. Here's to your new beginning and your return to the life you should have always had.
The world did not end in fire. There were no explosions, no dramatic speeches, no final warning reported on the news. The world ended quietly. It ended with empty shelves, with unanswered phone calls, with doors that stopped opening. By the time people realized something was truly wrong, society had already collapsed. This story begins 6 months after that collapse. His name is Daniel Mercer. Before the fall, Daniel was ordinary in every way that mattered. He worked a desk job. He complained about traffic. He believed that tomorrow would always arrive as scheduled. Now, tomorrow is never guaranteed. Daniel lives alone in what used to be a suburban neighborhood. Houses stand like skeletons intact on the outside, hollow within. Some were abandoned peacefully. Others still carry marks of violence on their walls. Every morning, Daniel follows the same routine. He wakes before sunrise. He checks the perimeter. He counts his supplies. Canned food, bottled water, a handgun with limited ammunition. He keeps track of everything because forgetting is dangerous. In this world, mistakes are fatal. The collapse wasn't caused by war, or climate, or even disease. It was caused by silence. One day, systems stopped responding. Power grids failed. Financial networks froze. Supply chains broke down with no explanation. Governments issued statements then stopped speaking altogether. No enemy ever appeared, and that terrified people more than any invasion could have. At first, neighbors helped each other. They shared food. They shared information. Then supplies ran low. That was when kindness became conditional. Daniel remembers the exact moment he stopped trusting people. It was the day he watched a man beg for water and then pull a knife the moment Daniel turned his back. From that day on, Daniel survived by one rule: never assume innocence. Months pass, seasons change, the world grows quieter. One afternoon, Daniel hears a sound he hasn't heard in weeks. Footsteps, careful, measured, not desperate. Someone knows what they're doing. Daniel hides inside his house, watching through a cracked window. A woman enters the street, carrying a backpack and a rifle slung across her shoulder. She moves like someone who has survived longer than most. Her name is Mara. They don't trust each other. Trust is expensive now. Their first conversation is short. Their weapons remain visible, their distance carefully measured. But survival favors cooperation. Mara knows things Daniel doesn't. She's traveled beyond the neighborhood, seen cities reduced to graves. She tells him the truth no one wants to hear. The collapse isn't temporary. No help is coming. The world people remember is gone. Together, they form an uneasy alliance. Days turn into weeks. They scavenge abandoned buildings. They avoid roads. They watch the horizon constantly. And slowly, something dangerous happens. They begin to feel human again. They talk at night. They share memories of a world that feels fictional now. They laugh quietly, as if afraid laughter might attract them. But hope is a liability. One night, they encounter a group of survivors. Families, children, people who look harmless. The leader asks for food. Daniel hesitates. Mara doesn't. She says no. When the group leaves, Daniel argues with her. They needed help. Mara looks at him and says something that changes everything. So did we. No one helped us. Days later, they find that same group again. Only this time, the group is armed and they're not asking. Daniel witnesses what desperation truly looks like. The survivors kill without hesitation. They take everything. They leave bodies behind. Daniel and Mara escape, but something inside Daniel breaks. That night, he can't sleep because he realizes a terrifying truth. The apocalypse didn't turn people into monsters. It revealed who they already were. As resources disappear, morality follows. Daniel struggles with what survival requires. Mara accepts it. She's not cruel, she's realistic. She tells Daniel about a settlement rumored to exist far north. A place with rules, structure, power. But power always has a price. They reach the settlement weeks later. It's real. Walls, guards, organization. For the first time since the collapse, Daniel feels safe. Until he learns how the settlement survives. They trade protection for obedience. They exile the weak. They execute those who challenge authority. Order has replaced chaos, but at the cost of compassion. Daniel is offered a choice: stay and become part of the system, or leave and return to uncertainty. Mara already knows her answer. She refuses to live in another cage. Daniel hesitates, because survival without humanity feels meaningless, and humanity without survival feels impossible. In the end, Daniel leaves with her. Not because he's brave, but because he's still afraid of becoming someone he can't recognize. They disappear back into the ruins. The world remains broken. Civilization does not return. But Daniel understands something now. The end of the world wasn't a single moment. It was a process, and survival isn't about staying alive. It's about deciding who you are willing to become to do so. Because when everything else is gone, that choice is all that remains.
Empires are not built by heroes. They are built by men willing to make decisions others cannot live with. This story begins at the moment an empire starts to rot from the inside. The kingdom of Eldoria had ruled the continent for over 3 centuries. Its banners flew over cities, ports, and trade routes that fed the wealth of the entire realm to the common people. Eldoria represented order, stability, a promise that tomorrow would resemble today. But stability is fragile. And power, when inherited too long, forgets its purpose. King Alaric IV was dying. The illness did not announce itself dramatically. It weakened him slowly, stealing breath, strength, and clarity piece by piece. By the time the court acknowledged the truth, the question was no longer if the king would die but who would rule after him. Officially, the answer was simple: Prince Edric, the king's eldest legitimate son. Educated, polite, entirely unprepared, Edric had been raised in safety, shielded from bloodshed, taught diplomacy without consequence. He believed that words could still solve problems that had long since grown beyond language. The nobles smiled when he spoke, and sharpened their knives when he turned away. Unspoken among the court was another name: Caelan, the king's bastard son, born to a woman erased from history. Raised far from the palace, trained not in books, but in war, Caelan had bled for Eldoria in border conflicts where the crown refused to look. He had no claim, no title, and the loyalty of men who would gladly die for him. Caelan returned to the capital when the king's condition worsened. His arrival unsettled the court. Soldiers straightened their posture. Servants whispered. Nobles avoided his gaze. Because Caelan did not beg for acceptance. He did not ask for permission to exist. King Alaric summoned both sons to his chambers. What was said inside those walls was never recorded. But when Caelan emerged, his face was heavier. And when Edric followed, his hands were shaking. The king died 3 days later. The coronation was swift to swift. Edric was crowned beneath banners still smelling of funeral incense. He spoke of peace, of unity, of honouring his father's legacy. The crowd cheered, the council plotted. Within weeks, the cracks began to show. Border lords withheld taxes, trade guilds demanded privileges. Mercenary companies offered loyalty for a price. Edric tried to negotiate. The empire bled. Meanwhile, Caelan vanished. Officially, he was sent away for his own safety. In truth, he was gathering something more dangerous than an army. He was gathering belief among soldiers abandoned by the crown, among villagers burned by neglect, among men who remembered that Eldoria was once protected by strength, not promises. Civil war did not begin with a declaration. It began with silence. Supply lines failed. Garrisons switched banners overnight. Royal messengers stopped returning. Edric's advisors urged action. He hesitated. Because every order meant blood, and Edric had never learned how to live with blood on his hands. Caelan, however, had, when Caelan finally marched. He did so not as a conqueror but as a correction. He did not sack cities, he did not slaughter civilians. He removed governors permanently. Each execution carried a message: loyalty is earned, neglect is punished. The people did not fear him, they followed him. Inside the capital, paranoia took hold. Allies betrayed allies, councils fractured. Edric trusted fewer people each day. When Caelan's forces reached the gates, the city did not resist. The final confrontation took place in the throne room. 2 brothers, 1 crown, Edric pleaded. Caelan listened. And then he spoke the truth Edric had never wanted to hear. You were raised to rule a kingdom that no longer exists. Edric offered the crown, Caelan refused. Because Caelan did not want power given. He wanted power recognized. Edric was exiled, not killed. Because mercy, too, is a form of control, Caelan was crowned King Caelan I. His reign was not gentle, but it was effective. Borders stabilized, rebellions ended. The empire survived. History would remember him as a tyrant or a savior depending on who was asked. But one truth remained undeniable: Eldoria did not fall, because one man was willing to become what the empire required. And that is how kingdoms endure, not through virtue, but through sacrifice that history prefers not to name. Memory is the most fragile form of truth. People trust it completely, even though it changes every time they touch it. This story is about a man who trusted his memory and paid the price for it. His name is Lucas Hale, at least. That's the name he remembers. Lucas wakes up in a white room with no windows, no clock, and no sound except his own breathing. The walls are clean, like they've never been lived in. There is a chair, a table, and a mirror. On the table lies a folder. On the front, written in black ink, are 3 words. Session 1, Recovery. Lucas does not remember how he got here. He does remember other things. He remembers growing up near the ocean. He remembers the smell of salt and rust. He remembers a woman's laugh, soft, familiar, painful. But when he tries to hold on to these memories, they slip, like dreams dissolving after waking. The mirror activates. A voice fills the room. Calm, professional, emotionless. Lucas Hale, the voice says. If you are hearing this, the procedure has begun. The voice explains that Lucas volunteered for an experimental treatment designed to repair severe psychological trauma. Memory fragmentation, dissociation, identity confusion. Lucas doesn't remember agreeing to anything, but the file says he did. According to the records, Lucas experienced a catastrophic event 6 months ago. Something so severe that his mind fractured to protect itself. The treatment is simple. They will help him remember session by session, memory by memory. At first, the memories seem harmless. A childhood bicycle, a high school classroom, a rainy afternoon spent waiting for someone who never arrived. Each session ends with exhaustion and a dull ache behind his eyes. Between sessions, Lucas notices something strange. Some memories feel planted. To clean, to complete. Real memories are messy, inconsistent, emotional. These are not. During session 4, Lucas asks a question. What happens if I don't want to remember? The voice pauses. That will not be necessary. That answer stays with him. As the sessions continue, the memories grow darker. A car accident, flashing lights, someone screaming his name. Lucas feels guilt but cannot identify why. In session 7, he sees blood on his hands. In session 8, he sees the woman again. Her name is Evelyn. She is smiling at first. Then she is crying. Then she is not moving. Lucas wakes from the session screaming. For the first time, the voice sounds uneasy. You are progressing faster than expected, it says. That night, or what he assumes is night, Lucas studies the mirror and notices something impossible. His reflection is delayed only slightly, but enough. In session 10, Lucas lies. He says he remembers everything. The voice responds instantly, that is incorrect. And the room changes. The walls darken. The temperature drops. The voice stops pretending. Lucas Hale does not exist, it says. That is when the truth begins to surface. Lucas was not a patient, he was a construct, a personality assembled from fragmented memories belonging to multiple individuals. A psychological container designed to hold guilt, trauma, and responsibility that no single mind could bear. There was an incident, a classified incident, one that resulted in dozens of deaths. The people responsible could not live with what they had done. So they split the memory ... and buried it inside Lucas. Lucas was created to forget so others could sleep. Every session was not recovery. It was containment. Lucas reacts the only way a trapped mind can. He resists, memories collide, identities bleed into one another. Faces overlap, names lose meaning, the system destabilizes. The voice becomes desperate. If you continue, the construct will collapse. Lucas asks one final question. What happens if I collapse? Silence. Then the answer. Then the truth returns to those who created you. Lucas understands now he was never meant to survive. He was meant to carry the burden forever, so he makes a choice. In the final session, Lucas stops resisting. He embraces every memory, every scream, every order given. Every life lost, the room begins to fracture. The mirror shatters, and when the system fails, Lucas feels something new. Peace, not because the pain is gone, but because it no longer belongs to him alone. When the facility goes dark, alarms echo through empty halls elsewhere. People wake up screaming from dreams they don't understand. Memories return, guilt returns. Lucas Hale disappears, but the truth does not. Because memories, no matter how deeply buried, always find their way home.
Cities don't sleep, they pretend to, but they never really do. At 3 in the morning, when the streets are empty and the neon signs flicker like dying stars, the city tells the truth. About who survives, about who disappears. About who never mattered in the first place. This story belongs to one of those people. His name is Marcus Lane. Marcus is not a criminal by ambition. He is a criminal by erosion. Piece by piece, the city wore him down. Marcus grew up in the kind of neighborhood people only remember when something goes wrong. His father worked himself into an early grave. His mother learned how to survive by staying quiet. The city taught Marcus its first lesson early. Effort does not guarantee escape. Marcus was smart, not brilliant, not exceptional. Just smart enough to notice patterns, to see how things actually worked. He watched men who followed the rules struggle. He watched men who broke them thrive. By the time Marcus was 25, the decision had already been made for him. He started small, running packages, delivering envelopes, asking no questions. In the underground economy, silence is currency. Marcus was good at being silent. The city rewarded him with money that disappeared as quickly as it came: rent, medical bills. Debts inherited from a family that never caught a break. Marcus told himself it was temporary. Everyone does. That's the lie that keeps the machine running. Years passed. Marcus became reliable. Reliable people are dangerous not because they're violent, but because systems depend on them. And systems don't protect their foundations, they consume them. Marcus worked for a man named Victor Rains. Victor didn't look like a crime boss, he looked like a consultant. Calm voice, clean hands, always polite. Victor controlled networks, not streets, information, not guns. And information is far more lethal. One night, Victor gave Marcus a job that felt different. No delivery, no exchange, just observation. Follow him, Victor said, sliding a photo across the table. Tell me where he goes, who he meets, that's all. The man in the photo was ordinary, mid-30s, office clothes. Forgettable face. Marcus followed him for 3 days. On the 4th day, the man noticed. That's when everything changed. The man confronted Marcus in a subway station, crowded, loud, impossible to disappear in. You shouldn't be here, the man said quietly. Marcus froze because the man wasn't afraid. He was resigned. The man's name was Ethan Cole. Ethan wasn't a criminal, he was an accountant. Or at least that's what his records said. What Marcus uncovered slowly was something far worse. Ethan was laundering money not for gangs, but for institutions people trusted, corporations, charities, political foundations. Legal crime, the kind that destroys lives without ever pulling a trigger. Victor wanted Ethan gone, not dead, disappeared. Marcus understood what that meant. He was being asked to erase someone. Not physically, socially, reputationally, existentially. Marcus hesitated, and hesitation is expensive. Victor reminded him of something Marcus had forgotten. You don't choose when you're done, Victor said. The city does, Marcus did the job. Bank accounts frozen, false accusations planted. Careers destroyed overnight. Ethan lost everything in less than a week. Marcus watched it happen, and something broke inside him. Because Ethan didn't fight, he accepted it. Like someone who had always known the bill would come due. Weeks later, Marcus found out why. Ethan had tried to expose the system, he failed. Marcus wasn't eliminating a threat, he was burying a warning. Guilt doesn't arrive loudly, it settles in quietly. Marcus began seeing the city differently. Every building felt complicit, every advertisement felt like a lie. Every smile felt transactional. He wanted out. Victor laughed. There is no out, he said, only distance from the blast. Marcus tried to run anyway. That's when the city closed in. Friends stopped answering calls, accounts vanished. Doors that once opened easily stayed shut. The system Marcus helped sustain turned its attention to him in the end. Marcus made one final decision: if he couldn't escape the city, he would expose it. Marcus leaked everything. Names, transactions, networks. He didn't become a hero. Heroes are protected. Marcus became a liability. The fallout was controlled, scandals redirected, sacrifices made. Marcus disappeared, not officially, but effectively. The city continued, it always does, somewhere. People still believe hard work is enough. That systems are fair, that survival is neutral. The city doesn't correct those beliefs, it relies on them. And Marcus Lane. He became what the city creates best, a lesson no one learns from. Because in the end, the city doesn't punish crime, it punishes disruption.
At first glance, this looks like an ordinary love story, a quiet town, a powerful family, and a girl who seems far too insignificant to matter. But if you keep watching, you'll realize this story is never really about love, it's about control, identity, and what happens when the truth refuses to stay buried. This story begins on a rainy night. A young woman named Elena Carter stands outside the iron gates of the Blackwood estate, soaked to the bone, holding a worn-out suitcase in her trembling hands. She has nowhere else to go. Her mother is dead. Her father's name is written on a birth certificate, but he never once looked back. And now, after 23 years of silence, the Blackwood family has finally found her. Inside that mansion lives Alexander Blackwood, the youngest heir of the Blackwood Empire. Cold, calculating, and dangerously intelligent. To the outside world, he is perfection itself, a future CEO, a golden boy, a man who never makes mistakes. But Alexander hates this house. Because this house is built on secrets. The moment Helena steps inside, the atmosphere shifts. The servants stare at her like she doesn't belong. The walls whisper stories no one dares to tell. And at the center of it all sits Margaret Blackwood, the matriarch. Watching Elena with a gaze sharp enough to cut through bone, Margaret doesn't welcome her. She studies her like a problem that should have been erased long ago. You see, Elena isn't just a long-lost daughter, she's evidence. Evidence of an affair, evidence of betrayal. Evidence that the Blackwood family is not as perfect as they claim. And so, Margaret makes a decision. Elena can stay, but only under one condition. She will never reveal her true identity. To the world, Elena is introduced as nothing more than a distant relative. A charity case, a girl taken in out of kindness. But kindness has never existed in this house. From the very first day, Elena becomes invisible. She eats after everyone else. She walks with her head down. She learns quickly which hallways to avoid, which words not to say, and which emotions to swallow. Except around Alexander. Alexander notices everything. He notices the way Elena flinches when voices are raised. The way she holds her breath when Margaret enters the room.
The way she looks at family portraits like she's searching for herself among strangers. At first, Alexander keeps his distance, because getting close to Elena means getting close to the truth. And the truth is dangerous, but distance doesn't last. Late one night, Alexander finds Elena in the library, asleep at the desk, a stack of old documents scattered around her. She's been searching, digging, asking questions she shouldn't. That's when Alexander realizes something terrifying. Elena doesn't just want acceptance, she wants answers. And answers could destroy everything. As days turn into weeks, tension builds. Elena overhears conversations that weren't meant for her ears. She sees the cracks in the Blackwood Empire, shady deals, silent threats, alliances built on fear instead of loyalty. Meanwhile, Margaret grows increasingly hostile, because Margaret knows something Elena doesn't. The Blackwood family didn't lose Elena by accident, she was erased on purpose. Years ago, when Elena's existence threatened the inheritance line, a decision was made. Money changed hands, records disappeared. A woman was paid to vanish with her child. But the child survived, and now she's back. The closer Elena gets to the truth, the more dangerous her position becomes. Servants are fired overnight, security tightens. Even Alexander is warned to stay away from her, but by then, it's already too late. Because somewhere between shared silences and stolen glances, Alexander falls in love with her, and that love becomes the final threat to the Blackwood legacy. When Elena finally uncovers the truth that she is not a guest, not a burden, but a rightful heir, everything explodes. Margaret denies it. The family panics, the board of directors intervenes. And Alexander is forced to choose. Family or Elena. In the final confrontation, secrets are exposed in front of the entire Blackwood board. DNA results are revealed. Financial crimes surface. Decades of lies collapse in a single night. Margaret loses control. The empire fractures. And the truth, once hidden, becomes impossible to erase, but victory doesn't come without a cost. Elena walks away from the Blackwood main not because she has to, but because she finally understands something powerful. Blood doesn't define family, power doesn't define worth, and sometimes, survival is the greatest revenge. As for Alexander, he leaves with her, not as an heir, not as a Blackwood, but as a man finally free. And that is the real ending of this story, not a fairy tale, not a perfect romance, but a reminder. No matter how deeply the truth is buried, it always finds a way back to the surface.
The bride who married the wrong man. Pay close attention. On what should have been the happiest day of her life, this woman walked down the aisle and accidentally married a man she had never met. Her name is Lydia Hale, the eldest daughter of a wealthy political family. For 24 years, she lived under strict rules. Perfect grades, perfect manners, perfect reputation. Her engagement to her childhood sweetheart, Ethan Crowe, was arranged when they were children. Everyone expected their wedding to be the union of two powerful families. But on the wedding day, Lydia's life derails in the most unbelievable way. Moments before the ceremony, Lydia is kidnapped by masked men, thrown into a black SUV, and drugged with something that makes her head swim. When she wakes up, she's in a dimly lit church, a completely different location. Her bouquet replaced, her veil rearranged, her bridesmaids missing, and the groom isn't Ethan. Standing at the altar is a cold, devastatingly handsome man with gray eyes as sharp as winter steel. A man Lydia has never seen in her life. His name, Damien Blackthorne, the most feared underground king in the entire eastern region, leader of the Blackthorne Syndicate. A man whose reputation can silence even the bravest criminals. Everyone calls him the Ghost King, because no one knows how he rose to power, and those who try to investigate disappear. Damien takes Lydia's trembling hand. The priest asks, "Do you take this woman?" Damien answers before the priest finishes. I do. Lydia stunned. She protests, screams, tries to run, but the guards hold her still. Damien leans close, voice dangerously calm. Say the words, Lydia. I don't. He whispers into her ear. If you don't marry me, the Hale family will not live through tonight. Terror grips her heart, shaking. Lydia barely forces the words out. I do. The moment the ceremony ends, Damien kisses her lightly, almost mockingly. Congratulations, Mrs. Blackthorne. Lydia's taken to a black limousine and driven to Damien's fortress-like estate. But here's the twisted part. Damien doesn't touch her, doesn't speak to her. He simply tells her, you will stay here, you will obey my rules, and you will never leave. But Lydia refuses to be a prisoner. She starts investigating, listening to guards whisper at night, sneaking into forbidden rooms, reading documents she was never meant to see, and what she discovers changes everything, because Lydia realizes something horrifying. Damien didn't marry the wrong bride. He married the right one. Lydia was the daughter of a secret bloodline, a lineage connected to an ancient fortune, a political prophecy, and a deadly secret her parents hid for decades. Damien needs Lydia alive, because she is the key to unlocking a legacy that hundreds of powerful families have killed for. But Lydia learns something more shocking. Her childhood fiancé, Ethan, the man she thought loved her, was actually part of the conspiracy to sacrifice her. He knew she was destined to die at 24. He pretended to love her only to keep her compliant. Damien didn't kidnap her. He saved her, but salvation comes with a price. Lydia now belongs to the most dangerous man alive, and Damien has no intention of letting her go. Not after he discovers something even he didn't expect. He is falling in love with her, and when the Ghost King falls in love, entire empires burn. Super long English drama narration number 2. The woman who found a baby on her doorstep and realized it was hers. This story begins on a quiet winter morning. Snow blankets the street. The world seems peaceful until a single cry breaks the silence. A woman named Claire Rivers, a hard-working emergency nurse, opens her apartment door and finds a baby basket sitting in the hallway. Inside it, a newborn girl wrapped in a blanket embroidered with Claire's own initials. At first, Claire thinks it must be a mistake, a prank, some kind of tragic abandonment. But then she sees the note, a single line written in trembling handwriting. Please protect our daughter. They cannot know she survived. Claire freezes. The handwriting looks disturbingly familiar, because it looks like her own. Impossible, insane. But the more Claire examines it, the more certain she becomes. She wrote this note, or someone who knew her handwriting perfectly. But Claire has never been pregnant, never given birth, never even been in a long-term relationship. So how could this baby be hers? As Claire holds the baby, a wave of foreign memories hits her. Images she doesn't recognize, faces she's never seen, hospital rooms she's never entered. Every night, the memories grow stronger. A surgery she didn't remember, a man she never met, a hospital bed where she was unconscious. Claire begins digging into her past and uncovers a horrifying truth. 3 years ago, she was involved in a major accident. She was unconscious for 2 days. Doctors claimed she suffered only mild injuries. But that wasn't true. During those missing 2 days, Claire was used as a surrogate test subject for a fertility experiment led by a secret organization seeking to create genetically perfect children. Claire was selected for her medical resilience. They implanted a fertilized embryo into her body, monitored the early pregnancy, then removed the fetus covertly before she woke. Claire was never meant to know, never meant to remember. But the baby was supposed to be destroyed. Someone inside the organization betrayed them and saved the infant, placing the child on Claire's doorstep as the last chance for survival. Now a powerful corporation is hunting for the baby. They will eliminate anyone who stands in their way. Claire must run, hide, fight. She becomes a fugitive, protecting a child she never planned for, yet feels an unexplainable bond with. The twist. The baby begins showing abilities far beyond a normal infant. Rapid learning, unusual awareness, and neurological patterns never documented before. Claire realizes the company wasn't trying to create the perfect baby. They were trying to create the perfect weapon. And now, they will do anything to reclaim it. Super long English drama narration number 3. The princess who escaped her own funeral. This is the story of a princess who attended her own funeral. Her name is Serafini Aldera, the firstborn heir to the Aldera kingdom, known for her intelligence, beauty, and unmatched talent with diplomacy. But political enemies feared her. They needed her gone. The night before her coronation, Serafini is poisoned by her most trusted advisor. Her pulse stops. Her body grows cold. Doctors declare her death. The nation mourns. Her father falls to his knees. A grand royal funeral is prepared. Thousands gather to see the princess one last time. But here's the twist. Serafini wakes up inside her coffin, paralyzed, unable to scream, yet fully conscious. A rare toxin was used. One that mimics death flawlessly, but wears off within 24 hours. Serafini fights with every ounce of strength. The sarcophagus cracks open. She crawls out, gasping for air, covered in funeral flowers. Her first thought isn't fear, it's vengeance. But she can't return to the palace, because everyone has already accepted her death. The kingdom has moved on. Her younger sister is taking the throne. Her advisor, the traitor, is now controlling the royal council. Serafini realizes she must stay dead. She disguises herself and goes into hiding, forming alliances with assassins, spies, and rebels. Slowly, she uncovers the conspiracy. Foreign nations, corrupted nobles, and even her own sister, who secretly wanted the crown. The deeper Serafini digs, the darker the truth becomes. The assassination wasn't just about power. It was part of a prophecy that foretold. The eldest daughter of Aldera shall bring ruin to the realm. The kingdom didn't want to kill her out of hate. They killed her out of fear. But Serafini isn't the monster the prophecy claimed. The true monster is the person who forged the prophecy in the first place, and she plans to reclaim everything stolen from her, her crown, her kingdom, and her fate. But first, the dead princess must return from the shadows.
The bride who married the wrong man. Pay close attention on what should have been the happiest day of her life. This woman walked down the aisle and accidentally married a man she had never met. Her name is Lydia Hale, the eldest daughter of a wealthy political family. For 24 years, she lived under strict rules, perfect grades, perfect manners, perfect reputation. Her engagement to her childhood sweetheart, Ethan Crow, was arranged when they were children. Everyone expected their wedding to be the union of two powerful families, but on the wedding day, Lydia's life derails in the most unbelievable way. Moments before the ceremony, Lydia is kidnapped by masked men, thrown into a black SUV, and drugged with something that makes her head swim. When she wakes up, she's in a dimly lit church, a completely different location, her bouquet replaced, her veil rearranged, her bridesmaids missing, and the groom isn't Ethan. Standing at the altar is a cold, devastatingly handsome man with gray eyes as sharp as winter steel. A man Lydia has never seen in her life. His name? Damien Blackthorn, the most feared underground king in the entire eastern region, leader of the Blackthorn Syndicate, a man whose reputation can silence even the bravest criminals. Everyone calls him the Ghost King, because no one knows how he rose to power, and those who try to investigate disappear. Damien takes Lydia's trembling hand. The priest asks, "Do you take this woman?" Damien answers before the priest finishes, "I do." Lydia is stunned. She protests, screams, tries to run, but the guards hold her still. Damien leans close, voice dangerously calm. "Say the words, Lydia." I don't," he whispers into her ear. "If you don't marry me, the Hale family will not live through tonight." Terror grips her heart. Shaking, Lydia barely forces the words out. "I do." The moment the ceremony ends, Damien kisses her lightly, almost mockingly. "Congratulations, Mrs. Blackthorn." Lydia is taken to a black limousine and driven to Damien's fortress-like estate. But here's the twisted part. Damien doesn't touch her, doesn't speak to her. He simply tells her, "You will stay here, you will obey my rules, and you will never leave." But Lydia refuses to be a prisoner. She starts investigating, listening to guards whisper at night, sneaking into forbidden rooms, reading documents she was never meant to see, and what she discovers changes everything, because Lydia realizes something horrifying. Damien didn't marry the wrong bride. He married the right one. Lydia was the daughter of a secret bloodline, a lineage connected to an ancient fortune, a political prophecy, and a deadly secret her parents hid for decades. Damien needs Lydia alive, because she is the key to unlocking a legacy that hundreds of powerful families have killed for. But Lydia